Markets were jolted today by a mix of political intrigue, corporate power plays, and global supply chain shifts, from billion-dollar media rights reshaping sports broadcasting to policy moves that could redefine entire industries. Today's headlines carry more than just numbers. They signal strategic repositioning in real time. My name is Eniola Lunge, and here's today's Zoom Out for August 11, where I help you see the bigger picture. Paramount and Skydance have secured a 7-year, $7.7 billion deal for exclusive U.S. broadcasting rights to the UFC. The deal sends shares of TKO Group Holdings, UFC's parent company, up more than 10%. One major twist, though: Paramount reportedly plans to eliminate pay-per-view model, making UFC fights available through its streaming platforms and cable channels. This could disrupt the sports broadcasting landscape, driving up competition for live sports rights and forcing rivals like ESPN and Amazon Prime to rethink their pricing strategies. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Live sports remain one of the last bastions of appointment viewing, and whoever controls the rights controls a cultural goldmine. The end of UFC pay-per-view could set a precedent for how premium sports are packaged in the streaming era. Cannabis stocks rallied sharply after reports that the Trump administration is weighing reclassifying marijuana. Such a shift would recognize its medical use, ease research restrictions, and potentially allow banks to service cannabis businesses. The largest marijuana ETF, MSOS, surged 25%, with individual cannabis producers also seeing double-digit gains. Reclassification could trigger institutional investment inflows and spark M&A activity as mainstream companies enter the sector. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Policy changes can flip a market's narrative overnight. For cannabis, this could mark the move from a speculative niche to a regulated, high-growth industry, with Wall Street money fueling the next phase. Nvidia and AMD have reportedly agreed to give 15% of their China AI chip sales revenue to the U.S. government in exchange for export licenses. The move follows tighter Trump administration restrictions on advanced AI chip exports over national security concerns. AMD booked an $800 million charge linked to these new rules, highlighting the cost of doing business in geopolitically sensitive sectors. This adds a new layer of cost and compliance complexity to U.S. chip makers, potentially shifting production strategies and accelerating diversification away from China. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Geopolitics isn't just about tariffs anymore. It's about who controls the building blocks of the future. For semiconductors, access now comes with a political price tag. Intel CEO will meet with President Trump today, just days after Trump publicly suggested he resign over alleged ties to China. Intel stock, which plunged last week, recovered slightly ahead of the meeting. The talks could cover new U.S.-based manufacturing commitments, potential government contracts, and measures to ease political tensions. Depending on the outcome, this could either stabilize Intel's leadership narrative or deepen investor uncertainty. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? When corporate governance collides with politics, the market listens and reacts. Intel's future positioning in the U.S. tech race may hinge on how well it navigates both Washington and Wall Street. Nigeria's Dangote Refinery is importing 4,000 natural gas-powered trucks costing $470 million to directly distribute refined products to retail stations and industrial users. By bypassing bottlenecks in Nigeria's struggling logistics network, Dangote aims to cut distribution costs and stabilize fuel supply. This move could boost refinery margins, strengthen Nigeria's downstream sector, and improve domestic fuel availability, potentially reducing imports dependence. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Infrastructure isn't just steel and concrete. It's the arteries of an economy. Dangote's investment is a reminder that control over distribution can be as powerful as control over production. So the bottom line is this: whether it's a media giant rewriting the sports playbook, a refinery reshaping energy logistics, or chip makers paying a political toll, the bigger picture is clear. In today's economy, survival means adaptation at speed. Which story shifted your perspective today? Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more context on Zoom Out. When the world zooms in on the noise, I zoom out so you can see the bigger picture.